So now I need to get this link, this YouTube link. Copy link.
Does it maybe share?
No, it's supposed to be very easy. I tried that last night. Oh, here I think nothing there. So, wait, that's a link. Let me take it. Yeah, but instead of copying, okay. So what I would do is let me share it via this app. It will come to this one. Okay, so we're done there. Yeah, go back. Oh. Oh, it has left the Zoom one running. But it's showing there that live, it's fine. So let me try and connect from my phone and see if it's any better. Maybe I can migrate them to YouTube.
Yeah, it's entered, but
Yeah, so this is, but it's showing there that live, it's fine. So it's available on Zoom. On
Doris, can you hear me? Sorry, there's no video.
Yes, don't worry. I can put the video back on.
Oh, okay. All right. No, it's
We're just
okay.
trying to do the audio. Yes, but there. Okay, so you can see us. Hello.
You have gone.
Hello?
Hello, but you become faint. I don't know why.
Oh, okay, there you go.
You can hear us, but it's so faint from our end. So
Okay, thanks. You are back on now.
Resolve this while we wait for the event to start. Also, I'm going to send a YouTube link just in case we could try that one and see if it works.
I can see it on top here.
It works.
I can see it on top here.
okay.
Yes, it is working.
So you can say something. Quiet. Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Say something. Hello.
Hello, Doris.
Yes. Okay, now we can get you.
Mm.
We can get you via speaker.
Okay.
Hello, you can say something again?
Here we are again.
Yeah, thank you. It's done.
The YouTube is also working.
Oh, great. So you can use either YouTube or Zoom. I'm told YouTube is even better, so you can choose where you want to be. Thank you. So we just wait for the event to start. So if you want to share now, video.
When did you come? On Saturday. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We didn't hear.
But they start already there. Mr. Modi, hapa na kwa nje. I think now.
Why we need also good? Like that. So how is that?
Surviving.
Yes, that's the word.
That's the word.
It is what it is surviving.
When survival means.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already the slow period. So February. Hello, testing. Hello, testing. Ladies and gentlemen, may we take our seats as we are about to start the program, and I'd like to ask that we stand and sing the national anthem. Thereafter, we'll ask our brother, Mr. Mohoni, to lead us in a prayer. It will take long. Mr. Mohoni, please, don't take long.
Thank you.
A prayer is the, okay, thank you. Let us sing the national anthem. Stand and sing of Zambia, proud and free, land of faith and joy in unity. Victors in the struggle for their rights. We won freedom's fight. Oh, one, strong and free. Africa is our own motherland, fashioned with and blessed by God's good hand. Let us, O our people, join as one, brothers, under the sun. Oh, one, strong and free, one land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace meet Zambia's skies, like a noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, praise to thee, oh one, strong and free. Praise be to God. Bless our great nation, Zambia, Zambia. Free men we stand under the flag of our land, Zambia. Praise to thee, oh one, strong and free. I'll bring the mic there.
Shall we close our eyes and pray together? Our God and our Father, that we art in heaven, we come in your presence this morning to give you thanks for the breath of life that you have accorded to each one of us this day. Yet knowing fully very well that, Lord, others would have loved to see the day, but they are no more. We thank you for your mercy and your love. And we pray now that, Lord, even as we gather here, even to celebrate our success and much more of that which is yet to come, you alone may be able to begin with us and end with us. For it is through your Son, our Lord and Savior, Christ Jesus, that we pray and give thanks. Amen.
Amen. That's Mr. Moni. You can see how much is the most beloved ancestor we have in there. He's a papa. Thank you very much. I'd like to recognize the Chief Executive Officer and the guest of honor for today, Mr. Felix Chila. Sir, thank you for finding time to be with us. Management and staff of the Zambia Tourism Agency. We have our Director Marketing and the Director Licensing, the owner of this event. Our cooperating partners in tourism development, that is the media. And of course, the reason why we're here today is our beautiful graduates, looking extremely handsome and beautiful today, in particular Mr. Mohone. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. My role is not to say much because we have our able leadership that are going to just take us through this process. And allow me at this time to invite Director Licensing, Mr. Solicitor Chelo, who is quite familiar with all of us. He's been with us throughout this process of grading and licensing, to give his remarks. From there, Mr. Chelo, you can go ahead and proceed to invite our guest of honor, who is the Chief Executive Officer, to give his opening speech. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really humbled and happy to be here this morning to finally witness the handing over of the certificates for those who successfully completed the training. So I'm wondering why Mr. Mohota is here. He knows the story. Yeah. So my task is a very simple one. Because we just give welcome remarks. So I would like to welcome you all and thank you for coming to be with us this morning. I know that some of you have very busy schedules, you run very busy facilities, and some of you own businesses, but we are happy that you found time to be with us. It's been an interesting journey from where we started from, even at the time when people did not believe in us, but we believe that together as a team, we'll be able to do it. Yes, we can do it, and yes, we did it. It was not easy to start this assignment, this task. As you are aware, that grading in Zambia had not been done for a very long time. So we had to start really from the scratch, if you like. It was indeed the scratch because at the time, even when the department was being created, unfortunately, for some strange reason, we did not have even a budget. I kept on bothering my colleague here, Mr. Mwabashiko, said, please give us just a bit of money so that we start. Eventually, we started, I think, with him, and I actually want to recognize the important role he played in terms of even securing the resources. He introduced me to very good donors. We submitted the plan, and that's how we managed to get resources from PEP Zambia. Basically, the whole grading system in Zambia, I would say, was funded by PEP Zambia. Of course, later on we had a bit of resources, but the setting up of the development of the grading system and everything, we got, I must recognize that we got very good support from PEP Zambia, who are now called Prospero Zambia. And the director of marketing, I must really take this opportunity to thank you that it was not your department, but you still found time to accompany me in most cases to approach these donors, and our shoes, they are becoming flat like Adidas because we kept on walking and knocking from one office to another. But finally, we did manage to get support, and hence the training that we started in 2018. All of you came, and it was very interesting training, 2018 at Intercontinental. Then we had another training at Government Complex, and a few selected assessors, we proceeded to Kiambi in Lower Zambezi. So we basically covered all the 8 categories that are in the statutory instrument. And I'm very confident that we have built a cadre of well-trained, experienced assessors. Going by the reports we've been getting from the industry, from the assessments, I'm confident that we've really built a very good team, and we've become really a team. You can even see how we relate to one another. So this team has been together for how many years now? 2 going to 3 years. Yeah, so I'm really grateful that we have worked together. Of course, I mentioned the support from PEP Zambia. I also want to just acknowledge the immeasurable support that my office received from the executive office, the chief executive officer, Mr. Chaila, for supporting us, and he gave us really a leeway to say, do everything or anything possible for you to ensure that this grading becomes a reality. People did not believe that one day we'll have graded facilities, but we have done it. And thank you to everyone for your contribution and your invariable support and input. So as a result, today we are witnessing this mean ceremony where you are going to get your certificates. These are Teveta certificates to just confirm that you are indeed qualified assessor. So you can go to Namibia if they are looking for an assessor, go to Lesotho. This will give you some kind of an advantage. So we are giving you this, and I must apologize that we've taken long to give this. Just to inform you that these certificates is not the cheap paper that you find anywhere. These certificates were printed in London actually. Yeah, so you see even the quality. So it was worth waiting a bit longer than going to buy stationery at City Market and then do the printing. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's not my show. The CEO is here. He's the owner of the show. I just want also to take this opportunity to thank you for the support you have rendered to my office, and also to just inform you that this Friday marks the end of my nearly 22 years journey with the Zambia Tourism Agents. I'm retreating to the farm. As you can see, gray hair have grown. I need to be a farmer now. So leaving this Friday is my last day at Zambia Tourism Agents. It's been exciting, sometimes challenging, and of course interesting journey, and interesting to work for Zambia Tourism Agency, and also for me to work for my country, having even served as a tourism attaché in Pretoria for almost 8 years. I think it's been very interesting, and for spending nearly 22 years at Zambia Tourism Agency, it's been really interesting. And I'm very confident that even as I leave, I've left behind a very good team. I've left behind good assessors, a good team of assessors, both the independent and also the internal assessors. So I'm very happy that I've done a good job. Just to borrow the words that Paul in the Bible used when he was going towards the end of his ministry, having left Timothy in Ephesus and also young Titus in Crete, then he says, I have fought a good fight. I've run my race. And I'm borrowing those, adopting his words as my own also. That indeed, I believe that I've fought a good fight and I've run my race. So it's time for me to hand over the mantle to someone else to continue this journey. So as I write a new chapter in my career, I just want to wish all of you God's blessings and more knowledge, and pray and hope that we are going to uphold what we have learned and improve from where we are, take this grading to greater heights. With these few words, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor and pleasure to invite the man himself, the boss. We call him the boss, Mr. Felix Jeremy Chair.
Thank you very much. And it's good to see a full house. I really didn't expect that in such short notice there will be so many people. And I don't think I should be looked at as a guest of honor. This is a family affair. I'm just a member of this beautiful family. And you can tell it's a family. You heard all the comments about Ms. Amhoni. So this is a group which, although most of them are part-time, most of you are part-time, and you've been together not for a very long period, and COVID has created that separation, and yet this is a group that has become a family. Otherwise, nobody would know that Ms. Amhoni gives long prayers. And it's also a group which is a Christian, because it means Ms. Amhoni has prayed before. So really, before I go into the text, this is also an emotional day. I think in many respects, because I sat in between those two gentlemen there, and we sat like that for many, many years. And I think we've created a family that's been pushing the boundaries of tourism to new heights. It's been a task team, the whole ZTA team. But now it's also a good opportunity as we are doing the farewells, and there'll be many. But I believe it's farewells that will be on paper, but this family should still stay together in so many respects. So, Solista, we must bid farewell, the first one. And I want to commend you for the job very well done in starting the regulation department from scratch, from dust. Nobody can take this out. And Shike didn't have the opportunity to say that it is also about to consider doing other things, but maybe in another 2 months, he will be there. So imagine if you are the commanding officer, your generals are not there, it's not a very easy thing. But I think we keep the spirit, and my task today is to just commemorate the graduation of our assessors, and this is overdue. So it's a good opportunity. We thought we could just do it impromptu, and I want to thank you for coming out in large numbers. I've actually seen people who are supposed to be in Solwezi, so I don't know, Mwaka, what magic you did to get all these people out at short notice. So my remarks, the management and staff of the TA, graduating assessors, our media partners in tourism development, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm very humbled today on this very special occasion as we witness the graduation of 38 internal and external grading assessors for the Zambian tourism industry. The graduates have undergone an extensive training program in quality control to the accommodation subsector. The training was facilitated by the Tourism Grading Council of South Africa. Again, a feat which solicitor managed to draw out. And you can rest assured that the quality of the graduates we are exposing to the tourism industry have been trained by one of Africa's best known brands in tourism. Let me congratulate all the assessors for having successfully completed this important milestone that will bring quality to destination Zambia. The agency carefully selected you, bearing in mind your extensive experience in the hospitality industry, to ensure that the accommodation subsector standards in Zambia are not only globally competitive, but most importantly, that they become what we have promised that they will be. And when talking about the assessors, I need to add and acknowledge the generosity of the hotel establishments that have released their managers and all the tourism enterprises that have allowed some of their people to be trained as external assessors. And this is how an industry should be, to collaborate in a good cause. What we are witnessing today has been a culmination of a number of activities that have taken place in the industry, and starts in 2018 with SI number 14 of 2018 on accommodation standards being launched. And when it was launched, it empowered the Zambia Tourism Agency to start a grading exercise on all tourism enterprises across the country. This was followed by extensive training sessions held at Intercontinental Hotel, at the government complex, at Kayambi Safari Lodge in the Lower Zambezi National Park, and a few other places. The assessors underwent mock examinations and mock assessments of various accommodation facilities in Lusaka under the guidance of quality assurance specialists from South Africa Grading Council. The main objective of the SI number 14 was to establish and improve standards in the accommodation subsector by ensuring that all accommodation facilities were registered and met the minimum requirements and were subsequently graded. The first grading exercise, ladies and gentlemen, as most of you already know, was done in Kitwe at the Garden Court Hotel, and the facility was awarded with 4 stars. And the stars look beautiful. I think you've seen them there, but they look much better at the hotel because they are in gold. So to date, the Zambia Tourism Agency has graded and awarded 29 accommodation facilities. I would like to urge the assessors to continually keep yourselves abreast with SI number 14, because that will be your basis for all grading criteria. These criteria and requirements in the SI outline what must be in place for an establishment to qualify for a certain number of stars, ensuring that the process is as open and as objective as possible. Your contribution to the industry shall be essential in your quest to continue improving the quality of our touristic products and services. It is vital for us to keep abreast of trends and industry developments as we continually strive to always remain a step ahead of the competition. It is therefore important that the grading criteria is continually improved or revised to meet the changing travel trends and consumer demands. This statement is could not be more true today when we're experiencing COVID-19 pandemic. As you may know already, grading assessors need to be confident, they need to be accurate, they need to be knowledgeable, and they need to be mindful during their assessments. Attention to detail and knowing what to look for during the grading process is what makes quality assurance a success. The Zambia Tourism Agency will endeavor to continually provide necessary training and upskilling for our assessors. Ladies and gentlemen, tourism remains a dynamic sector that has experienced many challenges, with the current one being the COVID-19 pandemic that has ravaged the entire globe. I am sure we know too well the effects of the calamity on our businesses. As the tourism sector fully reopens up, we anticipate that commencement of physical grading of these accommodation facilities should start soon. Despite COVID-19 challenges to the sector, a number of activities have taken place that should interest you. And this is with respect to other activities that the Zambia Tourism Agency has been undertaking. And I'm sure most of you may have attended some of our virtual events. Just a few weeks ago, the Minister of Tourism and Arts, Honorable Ronald Chitotela, launched our domestic tourism campaign with the theme, "Take a holiday, have it local." And this is a call for all tour operators in the country to design packages that appeal to the local market. This development is critical to you, the assessors, because you have to grade these domestic facilities so that domestic travel is heightened in the country. The main objective of the domestic tourism campaign was, among others, firstly, to promote, in fact, we should not be saying was, it is still, because it's an ongoing process. So the first objective of the Take a Holiday and Have It Local is firstly to promote and foster domestic tourism, to create employment opportunities and bring about socio-economic benefits to communities. Secondly, to inculcate the culture of leisure travel by locals. Thirdly, to ensure that domestic tourism becomes a buffer for international tourism, especially in these challenging times. Ladies and gentlemen, I think most of you are aware that Europe is undergoing the second wave of COVID-19, which is even steeper than the first wave. And the countries most affected are mostly the EU and the USA. And although in the southern hemisphere, COVID-19 cases seem to be a bit lower, we are soon going to have our winter. And therefore, we should also expect that what's happening to Europe is going to happen to us. And it is also expected that without a vaccine, it is not going, we cannot expect internationals to arrive on our doorsteps, especially as we also grapple with the various obstacles that have been added to the travel sector in relation to the COVID testing and the COVID certification, which are scaring a lot of travelers. And what it means is we must really focus on domestic and regional tourism to get ourselves going. And that is why such a campaign as take a holiday and have it local, and the exercise to make sure that facilities that can be affordable to domestic tourists are also upgraded. So my challenge to the accommodation subsector is to come on board by providing affordable or reduced rates for domestic travel to boost domestic tourism. Another milestone that ZTA has achieved recently has been the launch of the tourism sector COVID-19 safety protocols, which were launched by the Honorable Minister of Tourism and Arts. And the objective of the safety protocols are: one, to limit the spread of COVID-19; two, to serve as a safety guidelines for tourism businesses to protect both the staff and customers; three, to harmonize the COVID-19 response measures for the tourism sector in Zambia; four, to instill confidence among potential customers that tourism is safe and they can resume activities in Zambia; and lastly, to audit and establish Zambia's new carrying capacity in the provision of various tourism services. And I need to congratulate the Team ZTA that following the successful completion of these COVID-19 safety protocols, and we were among the first in the region, and our protocols have been highly held even by the UNWTO and many agencies. But following that, Team ZTA went ahead to procure from the World Travel and Tourism Association what is known as the Safe Destination Stamp. And again, this is a major feat because Zambia is only the 10th country in Africa to have acquired the Safe Destination Stamp from the World Travel and Tourism Organization. This is an endorsement that the steps that Zambia has taken as a destination are confirmed, and Zambia is a safe destination to visit. And let me take the opportunity to announce through this forum to the tourism sector that the WTTA stamp is available, WTTC stamp, it's a council, World Travel and Tourism Council, is available to private sector who have implemented COVID-19 measures in their establishments. Accommodation establishments, tourism enterprises can apply to the Zambia Tourism Agency to be awarded the WTTC stamp. And upon satisfactory confirmation that they have implemented adequate measures, then they can use the WTTC stamp as an endorsement. And this is one way in which we are ensuring that the destination is seen by the market and is actually safe to the market, not just seen to be safe, but safe. And I think, Doris, we can say that a number of private sector have already applied. And we've already started awarding. These 5 have already been awarded through ZTA, the WTTC stamp. So these are commendable steps. And again, I urge the team, I really congratulate the team for all these good efforts. Therefore, let me get back to grading as I conclude. Therefore, grading of tourism establishments gives us a new twist in ensuring that guest experience takes into account safety of guests and employees as we visit these facilities. As assessors, you need to take keen interest in these safety protocols
as you will be required to guide facilities when undertaking grading assignments. In view of the foregoing, ZTA will specifically conduct a workshop to train assessors on the application of the safety protocols. I'm saying, Mr. Moni, that we are giving you additional job description. So this is being dynamic. Let me also report that the Zambia Tourism Agency will introduce the mystery guest program for all graded facilities to ensure that quality of standards and service delivery remain focal points of all tourism establishments. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends and friends from the media, the Ministry of Tourism and Arts through the Zambia Tourism Agency will soon be launching the e-licensing and grading system for the tourism sector. Another important aspect to quality control in the tourism sector. This development will be extremely important for you assessors as you grade these facilities. Training on the usage of the e-system will be conducted for you in due course. So there's so much more to learn. I think like Solicitor said, by the time we are done with you, you'll be consultants to the whole of Africa. You know. Let me conclude. And as I conclude, I would like to congratulate each one of you for your steadfast commitment in ensuring that Zambia delivers a quality assured destination through grading of accommodation facilities. The task ahead of you is still enormous as we embark on a countrywide grading exercise. The task ahead, I would like to individually wish you all the best and call on you to heighten the Zambian brand through grading of accommodation establishments. And I also just want to thank the team at ZTA, which Mr. Chelo led, which has achieved all these feats. Because even the trainers, at the end of the day, when we said we are also going to put in place an e-license system, they did not think all these things would be possible, but all this has been done in a space of not more than 15 months. So I know that the team you are leaving behind will continue on the sojourn. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Felix Chaila. Quite an emotional day. And I think we should do something special. Since the CEO also mentioned that our Director Marketing is only with us for himself, is counting hours. I don't know, 1,000 hours or so. But these two directors, despite them being our directors, have really been our friends. So you can imagine, when you are letting go of two directors, us, the managers, means directly to Mr. Chaila. Sometimes when Mr. Chaila ballots me, I go to Director Marketing. That shoulder, you know what I mean. Now it's direct to Mr. Chaila. Not that he ballots us, but you know how it is with Chief Executives. But I would like to ask Mr. Nkulukusan, Mr. Solicitor Chelo to stand, and let's just give them a clap for 30 seconds. We can stand and just give them a clap. Okay, we will take our seat. But also to mention that Mr. Chelo is also a qualified assessor himself, so it should be retained. I think they've already done a bilateral with the CEO. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite, before we start awarding these certificates, I'd like to invite Mr. Kamalata to come and give a vote of thanks. You haven't written this, okay, there you go.
He's one of our assessors, very aggressive assessor. Even when the carpet is dirty, he will try to. Thank you.
Thank you so much. In fact, when I was coming, I was smiling, but he couldn't see because I had this on me. The Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Chaila, Zambia Tourism Agency Management and staff, my fellow graduates, all-weather assessors. I stand here to move a vote of thanks on behalf of all the assessors that are present and those that were unable to come to be with us today, in short, in absentia. I stand here to represent every one of them. You will agree with me, CEO, that the first category of assessments that took place countrywide were done in a professional manner. I guess today, there are no complaints coming from where we did the assessment. And this was as a result of the intensive training that we got from TBA. Arising from your speech, CEO, you may wish to know that the world is changing. Like you said, that we are going to have refresher courses. We request more of them often. And this time around, we request that some of these refresher courses, we hold them out of Lusaka. Because each time we have them in Lusaka, we are very much disturbed. You know, most of us stay in Lusaka. So when we are attending this workshop, not at home, we are called here and there. So we want maximum concentration. And this can only be done if we are taken out of Lusaka. So in this case, we are requesting for more refresher courses in order to keep ourselves abreast. I wish also to state that everyone has had a feel of assessing the facilities around, except for one or two. I think I must be one of them who has not had a feel. But in any case, I have been given this privilege to move a vote of thanks so that I forget that I'm the one who didn't go around. So we thank you for not being biased, because each and every assessor had gone around to do the assessment. As assessors, ladies and gentlemen, we wish Mr. Chelo and Mr. Glucosa the best in their new endeavor. The news came to us as a shock. However, there's little we can do. But their works at TBA, ZTA. No, I thought it's Zambia Brewery. Okay. You excuse me, no. I don't know what came in my mind, but however, ZTA, their works at ZTA spoke volume. Believe me, your absence is going to be felt by the agents. You conducted yourselves professionally, and we urge you to be consultants, since we are gurus at the agent. Lastly, of course not the least, as assessors with this certificate, we are ready for the mammoth task ahead of us. We shall continue working hard and being professional. And above all, we are making ourselves available anytime our services are needed. With these many remarks, thank you.
Thank you very much. That's Mr. Kamalata, one of the many families of assessors. We need to say that we have assessors on the Copper Belt. The assessors, the graduation today is for assessors based in Lusaka. So in due course, I'm sure we should be able to do the rest of the graduation for the assessors based on the Copper Belt. However, we proceed, and at this point, I'd like to invite the Chief Executive once again to come in front with the two directors to start awarding the certificates. Madam Waka, you, with your team, you may come through now to take over the mic and do the rest of the awarding. So once you come in front, you greet. The CEO should be on the last. Then director licensing before the CEO, then director marketing in that. No shaking hands, Mr. Moni, not. No shaking hands. It's just to do other greeting formalities, but no shaking hands. But let's all, after we get the certificate, we pause. And please, as you come, take note, there are a lot of cables here, especially the ladies with our high heels. Yeah, that's fine, I think. Then when you get the certificate, you just pause for a picture. Don't just rush back immediately. Thank you.
Good morning, fellow graduates. The first one on the list is Mr. William Mwanza. A big hand. Mr. Mwanza will be followed by Ms. Sonile Zulu. Is Ms. Sonile Mtine in? Okay. The next one will be Mr. Charles Mwala Matakala. A big hand for him. He will be followed by Ms. Carol Mumbitemba. Hey. He'll be followed by Mr. Munachongo Mizinga. A big hand for Mr. Mizinga. The next one will be Mr. Kauvi Himonda Simamuka. She will be followed by Ms. Kamika Chakulota. Yeah. The next one will be Miss Cynthia Namhoya Azente. A big hand for her. She will be followed by Miss Sandra Wananguli. A big hand for Sandra. The next one will be Miss Nalikando Nawa. Let's encourage the young lady. She will be followed by Miss Miriam Muchimba Piri. In absentia will be Mr. Frank Piri Mutolo, who's out on duty in Northern Province. He will be followed by Miss Ruth Chube Sakamara. Let's encourage Ruth. She will be followed by Mr. Julian Kampambamwanko. Let's encourage her. Next will be Mr. Justin Nawambanga. In absentia, he'll be followed by Mr. Stanley Leander, who's not with us this morning. Next will be Miss Doris Chubikile Coffee. Is Coffee, are you there? She'll be followed by Mrs. Betty Mumba Chamala. Will be followed by Mrs. Josephine Namula Mtinta. All the way from Livingston. Let's encourage her. In absentia, she'll be followed by Miss Sarah Yondo Masonde. Next will be Miss Clarissa Chidue Mwinga. Let's encourage Miss Mwinga. Next will be Mr. Nelson Chola. Is Betty Mumba Chamala? Let's go. In absentia, she will be followed by Mr. Mkinga Mdengu. The next will be myself. Please welcome me. The next on the list is Mr. Richard Morning. Let's give him a It's very short. He will be followed by Mr. Rogers Kazembe. Miss Doris Coffey. We are waiting for you. Miss Coffey. She'll be followed by Mr. Rogers. Sorry about that. Mr. In absentia, Mr. Mkeleba Michael Muyapa. Who will be followed by Mr. Dismas Kapata Banda. A big hand for him. He will be followed by Mr. Robert Katumba Kamalata. He will be followed by Mr. Crispin Makondo. In absentia, Mr. Victor Mukuka Kangwa, who was not able to make it this morning. He'll be followed by Ms. Sharon Mudia Nyimba. Let's encourage her. Thank you. Thank you. The next person I'm about to call is one of the assessors who's not with us this morning. I'd like to ask that all of you we are standing so that we do the movement. This is in honor of Mr. George Nikwala, one of our posthumous. Thank you. In absentia, will be awarding Mr. Kenneth Wansa Mulala. A big hand for him all the way from the Copper Belt. Again, coming from the Copper Belt in absentia, will be awarding Mr. Godwin Jumbe. Let's encourage him. Last but not the least, we'll be awarding our very own director, Mr. Solicitor Cello. Let's encourage him. This marks the end. Oh, Madam Doris, are you ready? Okay. This marks the end of the graduation list. I'll ask our master of ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's give a hand to ourselves once again. At this time, I'd like to say we are almost coming to the end of the event, but obviously, despite the COVID-19, for memory's sake, I'll ask the assessors and our management team for a group photo. And obviously, CEO, the media is waiting for that intimate interview. So be ready, at least that's why some of them are hanging around. They want to have an interview with you. This is not the last. We are seeing of each other with the assessors. Let's keep in mind all those nice words we learned, the ambience, the photo collage.
Aesthetics.
The aesthetics. Mr. Mone, we know that you still want the photo collage. Fit for purpose, you remember all those words we were learning. It was a good journey, and I'm sure Mr. Cello is not the last time that we are seeing the signage. Yeah, so all those words. Nowadays, when you go into a hotel as an assessor, all those things you take note. And as CEO said, with COVID-19 now, I think we need to really pay attention. Would like to give you a big hand again from ZTA for all the work that you've done. A big hand. At this time, we've actually come to the end of the program. We are early. There's going to be lunch. For the media, those who can join us for lunch, you are most welcome. If not, as soon as you finish interviewing the CEO, please see me before you go. And once again, we always appreciate your support. You've always been with us to ensure that tourism development in Zambia is taken to all parts of the country, and you always call it. Thank you very much. Let's go for the group photo, and after that, we'll be having lunch at the house, and that will mark the start of another journey with those certificates. Mr. Mohone might look for a job in Malawi. Thank you very much for being with us once again, and God bless us all. Thank you. Thank you. Just by the
Hello, our colleagues online. We're now
Yes,
logging
we
off.
are, Doris.
We are ending.
No, thanks a lot. You've done a recommendable job. Thumbs up.
Thank you. I hope you heard your name.
No, unfortunately, I didn't. The internet had gone berserk.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Okay.
But
Thank you very much for attending, Ms. Amtolo, Ms. Amlalami, Ms. Sonile Mtine, and Chilala Havasimbi.
cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I only brought it off. Which I used it. I used I can ask from these people from the camera. I just but they are bringing her back.